What is going on, guys? This is Miasin. So I wanted to make a video on two cards actually that got unbanned from the most recent ban list that happened last Saturday, and those would be Thunder Dragon Colossus as well as Arch Nemesis Protos. Now they look like on the surface they have nothing in common with each other, but they kind of do, because you can summon Colossus without playing a single Thunder Dragon monster in your deck, so it's now just restricted to the archetype. And for Protos, you can also summon it without without really playing Sword Soul. You know, you can play it like kind of generically, because typically people have associated Protos to Sword Soul and Colossus to Thunder Dragon, but it might be a little more generic than you think, and I will tackle some combos and kind of discuss whether or not these options are really worth it generically. But yeah, before going any further, I would really appreciate even more than I already do if you could smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much, you are the best. And now let's get into combo number one, which is basically just any runic spell, as well as, let's see, something like O-Lion. Doesn't have to be, yeah, in this situation, O-Lion just makes it a little simple. So yeah, you can summon your Hugin, and obviously if you got cards to discard, you can discard and then search your Fountain, which makes it so that the next runic cards that you use will be making you draw cards. And then you can go for the Cupid Pitch, so that's a very relevant monster now. It became way more important now that it can search Nemesis Corridor, which has exactly 600 defense, which are the only kind of monsters that Cupid Pitch can summon. And obviously, because of the fact that the tuner monster that we used is O-Lion, then we can summon a level 3 token. But the thing is, there is not really much that you can really synchro into, because Baron and Warlord Savage are both banned. So it's really hard to beat Nibiru nowadays, which is, you know, it's kind of painful. And also, one thing that I've noticed is just getting a card banished, a monster banished for Nemesis Corridor is shockingly very difficult to do. It looks easy, but not really. It's missions. So if you really want to do this very efficiently with two cards, then you're gonna have to summon something garbage like Vermilion Dragon Mech, and then obviously Cupid Pitch is going to be searching that Nemesis Corridor, which cannot summon itself yet, and then you're gonna have to go Mech, destroy itself, and then not use the effect to recycle back a banished monster because that's your only one, and then summon Corridor, and then go into Colossus. So, yeah, you can kind of consider this a Copium combo. Obviously, if you're playing other runic cards, then, you know, you still have your Fountain because of your Hugin search and everything, so you're not really negging like crazy. You're not playing this combo only for Colossus. This is really just a bonus, but it just feels like it's lackluster, honestly. And one thing that I have realized is that all these combos now, they play really, really hard into Nibiru. Again, the only way to really protect yourself from Nibiru is by making an SP Little Knight very early on, but then you can still get nibbed when you summon the Corridor before you summon the Colossus. And then what's going to happen is that your opponent is going to chain the SP, banish both the Corridor as well as the SP, and the Nibiru will stay in the hand, and then your opponent ends on SP pass. That's a very nice end board, KW LMAO. But yeah, no, there's, yeah, this is really just, like, the only way you can super easily summon Colossus without having to play billions of bricks. Otherwise, obviously, you can play, like, the Punk Engine and, like, Adventure and some other garbage, but you're gonna have to play so many Garnets just to summon a Colossus. It's just Copium at the end of the day, so I don't really necessarily recommend people to go out of their way to summon a Colossus generically. I would say just strict to pure Thunder Dragon, as well as Thunder Dragon Bestial Horus. That's the really good build at the moment. Anything else, just forget about Colossus. It's really not that good to the point where you want to summon this generically at the cost of your consistency and the purpose of your deck. So yeah, that's it for this one. Let's get into the next one. Alright, so how about Protos? Obviously, right now I'm showing a combo that is pretty much for Sword Soul, so obviously it's going to be a little more simple, and it's gonna involve, like, basically no bricks, because this is what the Sword Soul deck always used to do. This is like a 2022 thing. But yeah, if you got cards like Vessel, it's actually insane, because you're going to be fueling your graveyard way faster, and I want to say the 10Es are the best ways of getting to Protos access. But yeah, summon your Adara from the hand first, and then use the effect of Ashuna. Obviously, the order does matter. Otherwise, you will control an effect monster on the board, which means that you won't be able to summon the Adara from the hand. And then go into the Chi-Jiao and search your deck for the Sword Soul Emergence, which then searches for Protos. But in order to summon Protos, you have to banish a total of 3 monsters from your field or grave with different attributes. And right now, we've got Earth and Dark. But if we want to summon the Protos, we don't really want to banish the Chi-Jiao from the field. That's really stupid. So we're going to go Adara, recycle back the Ashuna, and then go for the Shaman, and then discard the Ashuna that we recycled back with the Adara, revive back the Chi-Jiao, and then we got Light, Earth, and Dark. So now we can simply banish 3 from the grave and then go for Protos, and we can either call Dark, Fire, or Light. So if we call Fire, then we're basically just insta-winning against pure Snake Eyes, Fire King Snake Eyes. It's gonna be pretty disgusting. If you call Dark, we're also instant winning against just about everyone. Protos doesn't have to successfully destroy in order to apply its lingering thing, because it's an also effect. So A doesn't have to happen for B to happen, but you can still... You cannot use Protos if there is not the declared... if there's not the attribute that you want to call on the field. So otherwise it would be like an illegal activation. So that's the only thing that you really need to know about Protos, because the card is pretty self-explanatory, very simple. But yeah, it's really insane. You know, you can call a bunch of things, and you can have a lot of free wins, honestly, if your opponent is not playing a lot of hand traps. But again, this loses super hard to Nibiru. So is it really that worth it? Maybe yes, maybe not. But in the Sword Soul deck, there are ways to mitigate a Nibiru, and I will be showcasing them in a video very soon. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button for an updated Sword Soul combo video and deck profile. Alright, last and maybe not least, or maybe least, we never know. I will cover this right now. What if you are trying to play a Parallelic Seed package in your deck in order to have, well, in your Snake Eyes deck, in order to have access to your Nemesis package? Well, you can do that. So normal summon Snake Eye Ash, search the Populace, and then special summon that and search for your Divine Temple, which can put the Populace or Oak, whatever, on the field. Definitely not the Populace, what the hell. Summon the Flamberge, and then why did I click swap? I have no idea. Chain link 1 Flamberge, chain link 2 the Populace. I don't even have to commentate over that. Summon back 3 monsters, blah blah blah, and then go for an Appaloosa without using the Oak, even though it doesn't really matter too much. Make a Relinquished Anima first. You really want to have a Dark in the graveyard that isn't Masquerada, because banishing it would be slightly stupid. And then summon the Parallelic Seed after you go for an Appaloosa in order to mitigate the impact of hand traps. And summon your other Parallelic Seed, go for an Infernal Flame Banshee, and then search your deck for Nemesis Flag. But you still have to have a card in the Banished in order to use Nemesis Flag. And this is where I want to say this package that goes into Protos is a little better than the one that goes into Colossus using Nemesis Flag. Protos is actually a little better than Colossus. Actually, and by a little better, I mean drastically better. Oak, send the Flamberge, summon a Flamberge. This step is pretty unnecessary, actually. You can do that with only 1 Flamberge. You can go just straight away for the SP, because we're going to be reviving back the Flamberge off of Princess anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. SP, banish our own Oak, this does matter. And then Nemesis Flag, shuffle back into the deck. So even if we get Soul Released, at least we still have Oak in the deck, so that we can have a good grind game. And then Nemesis Flag, search for the Protos. Protos summon back, summoning itself by banishing Relinquished Anima, Infernal Flame Banshee, as well as Parallelic Seed. And this is a combo that people were already doing before. And by people, I mean Shunping and nobody else. So when you banish Infernal Flame Banshee, either with SP or with Protos, you can revive back from the banish. That's not too bad. It's basically a free summon, and then we can go into Princess, revive back the Flamberge. This is where we would have been able to place the second IP as the IP, so we don't need the second Flamberge. And then we're going to be going to Raging Phoenix and then Zealantis, and we can call 1 of 4 attributes here. So yeah, Dark, which is counterproductive because then we can't summon the IP, or we can call Appaloosa or Zealantis or Flamberge in order to, you know, shut down Fire Monster. So obviously in a mirror match, if you can call Fire, that's going to be game. This is pretty much an unbreakable board. Yeah, it's pretty hard to beat, and also when your opponent summons, then your Divine Temple summon Masquerada is still live. So you can do all of that with only 1 Flamberge, which is, you know, it's a pretty big deal. Now, if I had to build a deck that would be, you know, realistically, realistic competitively speaking, it would look like this, because I still wanted to have the second Flamberge just in case I don't open Parallelic Seed or Nemesis Flag or Protos, because you don't need to physically draw Parallelic Seed in order to have access to all of that. But if you do, then you don't have to, like, burn, like, an SP in your combo. Or I guess you could also have Cross Out, right? And that would get a card in the Banish. So there is a few ways of getting there. And there might be, like, some other ways of randomly just getting cards banished. Like, maybe when they leave the field or something. I don't even know. I have no idea. But yeah, it's pretty standard. 12 hand traps, 3 Cross Out. Could also be 3 more hand traps. I really don't care. It could also be Talents. Parallelic Seed, yeah, because it summons Infernal Flame Banshee, which can also search for your Populace, so it can allow you to extend. So this card was seeing play before, which means that if you were already playing Parallelic Seed, you might as well just play 1 Nemesis Flag and 1 Protos. Doesn't really change that much to your deck building. I do want to say it is pretty good, because if your opponent is on board breakers, Protos is unfair. It's a lingering thing. It's kind of like a D barrier that you cannot really prevent. And it's also very good against Standby Dragon. You know, you call Fire, all their monsters are Fire. they're not going to be able to play the game whatsoever. So I want to say this is the most realistic package that you can play if you really want to take advantage of the unbanned cards on the ban list that are really good. Colossus, again, with Nemesis Corridor wouldn't really work here because getting a second card banished is super, super difficult. And the decks that are trying to go into Cupid Pitch and then into Nemesis Corridor, they have to go through like really garbage combos in order to make it work, so I'm really just not a big fan. So yeah, if you want to play this deck, feel free to do so. I do want to say it has potential. Honestly, it's not too bad, and also in the extra deck, it's not too much commitment. It's really just one extra Infernal Flame Banshee. That card probably would have been a Typhon otherwise, and that's about it. So yeah, nothing else changes. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about Protos and the Colossus in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.